Hey guys, welcome back to the Guitar Max channel. So this video is going to have several main points. Point number one is that some guitarists just like to stick with tried and true, simple, classic designs, and that's okay. Point number two is that I love it when guitar companies actually listen to their customers and deliver what they want. And point number three is a combination of points one and two. I'm going to show you a guitar that is a simple, classic design, and this guitar was made just because people asked for it. This is going to be a lot of fun. Let's get into it. Okay guys, so first of all, this guitar right here is an AIO SC77, and that's AIO all-in-one guitars. And as you can see, this is a classic gloss black finish with cream accents and gold hardware. Look how beautiful this thing is here. I mean, it's a classic guitar, but without the classic price. Now, I have talked about AIO guitars many times in the past, and this specific guitar is not actually mine, but I've borrowed this to do the video. I'm going to compare this one to the one that I own, which, dare I say, is the less classic, more modern, and more flashy version. So here's the one that I own right here. Same color, right? Gloss black finish, but mine has this abalone binding all the way around the body. It's got abalone fret inlays, and that same binding around the headstock. And if you look on the back of the guitar, it's got a really nice multiply binding on the back of the body. Also, mine has black accents and a black pickguard instead of the cream ones on here. Now the key here is that this one is the kind of stuff that AIO has been making for a while. Most of their LP models have this abalone work, and a lot of them have these really gorgeous, like, burst flame top finishes. This is what they were already making, and a lot of guys, myself included, really love this stuff. That being said, for a while now, people have been asking AIO to make simpler and more basic and more classic versions of these guitars. Apparently, not everyone wanted the flame top finishes or the abalone binding. And although this might seem incredible in modern times, AIO actually listened to what people wanted. So instead of all that other flashy stuff, this model here, which is a new one for them, just has a simple single-ply binding on the body, perloid inlays, and no binding on the headstock or on the back of the guitar. The only abalone on this guitar anywhere is kind of understated, but it's up here on the logo on the headstock. So they've gotten rid of all that extra stuff, and then to give it that ultimate classic look, it's got the gold hardware with the gold knobs, and then the cream accents here with the binding and the pickup rings and pickguard. And the other thing with this guitar is that because it's sort of a stripped down version, as you would expect, it's a little bit less expensive. So by about $30 to $40. So that puts this guitar right around the $460 mark. But now the guts of the guitar, it's the same. So you've got the same mahogany body and mahogany neck, set neck construction, beautiful ebony fretboard with 22 frets. It's got the Grover tuners, and you've got the bump on the neck joint construction there, so the headstock is not going to snap off if you drop it. And it has the same slim C-shape neck profile. You can kind of think of this guitar as a '69 Camaro, but with a single stage paint job and steel wheels. It's a sleeper of a guitar. Okay guys, so I'm really looking forward to playing this guitar for you in the demo. This actually has super low actions, feels very shreddable. But real quick guys, as always, if you enjoy videos like this, checking out cool, affordable guitars, and also staying up on all the latest news in the guitar universe, and you have not already subscribed, please consider subscribing right now. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the demo. Okay guys, so let's talk about the sound and playability of this guitar. And the first thing I want to mention here, there's a few things that jump out to me, but the first thing I want to talk about is the sound of the pickups, and in particular, how different the sound is between the bridge and neck pickup. This is something that I always really like. And I don't know, maybe not everybody cares about this as much as I do, but I like to have a variety of tones in one guitar. Now the tone difference, when you switch pickup positions, it depends on a lot of different things. Obviously the pickups themselves, how they're wound, what pickups they are. Also the placement of the pickups has a lot to do with that, right? So a humbucker on a 22 fret guitar placed right next to the end of the fretboard versus on a 24 fret guitar, those are going to sound slightly different, all else being equal, just because the placement of the pickup is going to be slightly different. And on this guitar, because it's a 22 fretboard and the pickup is right up against the end of the fretboard there, it gives that neck pickup a really round, warm tone that I really, really like. And I'm not really sure why this is, because these are the same pickups that are in the guitar that I own, but I actually notice it more on this guitar for some reason. But I really love it. Now, like I mentioned before the demo, the action on this guitar is awesome. I mean, this is super, super low action, but without any, buzzing or anything like that, any dead notes, that kind of stuff. Now, that really comes from the setup that AIO does on these guitars. And guys, I've talked about this before, but a good setup on a guitar, it makes or breaks the guitar, right? I mean, you can take a really, really well-made, very expensive, exotic materials, all this stuff. You can take an amazing guitar and then mess up the setup of the guitar, and the guitar will be unplayable. And it will be a guitar that is, you can't enjoy playing. You have that situation. And then you have the opposite, which I think is this guitar. I mean, this is a guitar that's in the $400 to $500 range. It's kind of a mid-range in terms of price, lower mid-range really. But then they do an awesome, awesome setup on these guitars, including dressing the frets, all of that stuff. And then you end up with a guitar that's just, it's a joy to play. It's effortless. It plays so easily, and it's just a fun guitar to play. And it all has to do with the setup. Now, it's kind of funny. I think AIO and the Wolf guitars that's associated with this brand, I think I've gotten more feedback on this brand than any other guitar brand that I've really talked about. Like, I'm talking about emails and comments and that kind of stuff. I got a comment recently from a guy who lives over in the United Kingdom. And he was debating on whether or not to get one of these AIO guitars. And he did end up ordering one, right? So they ship it from Los Angeles, where the shop is, over to the United Kingdom. And he got it. And he sent me an email. And he said it was, quote, an incredible piece of kit. Okay, now the other thing here is kind of what I was talking about in the beginning of the video. I know there are guitar players out there that like the classic, basic, tried and true designs, and there is nothing wrong with that. Personally, I like the guitars that are a little flashier, maybe a little more modern, but at the same time, there's nothing wrong with sticking to a classic, simple design. Especially when you think of all the great guitarists over the years that have played guitars like this. You can't really go wrong. But my question to you is this. Are you happy with a stripped down Les Paul or Strat style guitar? Or do you want the full-on modern fanned fret double locking beast with enough switches and knobs to make the Space Shuttle jealous? Or maybe somewhere in between is where your taste lies. I always like to learn more about my audience, so let me know where you guys stand on this down in the comment section below. Alright guys, that is it for this video. This was an awesome guitar, but I have to say I do still prefer the sort of flashier version that I have here. As always, I'm going to have links for all this stuff I'm talking about in the video down in the video description below. I will have a link for the guitars as well as the amplifier I used in the demo. That's the Fender GTX 100. And, my latest instructional program and social media and all that good stuff. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you soon.